No,
that is what you
it's
just
not
said.
it's because you don't do. It's because.
Well,
It's because you don't have to go anywhere. This is what she does, y'all. She wakes up.
No.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's episode 2. That's how we started. Ready? Boom, shut the bling.
It's not gonna focus.
Huh?
Is it gonna focus?
Look, yes, see the bling?
Oh.
Now don't talk with your hand up.
Alright. Yes, sir.
Alright.
We have to do it over or...
No, we're good.
Okay.
Do whatever. Welcome.
Welcome to our marriage talk, our relationship talk, right?
Relationship talk with the Fosters. I'm Dupre and this is...
Lachey.
How do I say my name again? I think... Dupre.
Yeah, that's an inside joke. You got to catch last week's episode to get that.
Yeah. We've been actually getting some pretty decent feedback on that. One was, about how funny we are.
Yeah.
I
got to go back and look at it again because I still don't remember what was so funny.
We weren't really trying to be funny. We
were not trying to be funny at all. But yeah, we've been getting some pretty good feedback. People appreciate it. And, we've enlightened a few people, which is always great, of course. You never know what you don't know, You
never know what you don't know,
Yeah, you don't. And, if we can bring insight into...
You're holding it like with the thing, like you're trying to advertise.
We can bring insight, or just touch or encourage or teach one person, then we're doing our job. We're reaching our goal. So it's been cool. I enjoy having these conversations with you.
Me too. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we like to give shout outs to people. Appreciate you watching. Like you were saying, we had pretty good feedback from our other video. We actually started this kind of the idea behind this a few weeks ago.
Yeah. We started the idea a few weeks ago, but we've been saying for probably about 3 years now that we were going to do a podcast. And I didn't want to do video at all. Like, you wanted to do video. I was like, no, I don't want to do video, but it's fine. We just got to do it. There's been so many. I think I've been the one kind of just holding us back from actually getting this done. I think you were ready to do it. You were fine. But
what was holding you back?
Well, there's always stuff. There's like, I don't want to go on video because, I'm not wearing makeup, or my hair is not perfect, or my weight's not perfect, or how people think that I look, or just not really want to put stuff out there because do people really care what we have to say? Why does my opinion matter? But I appreciate the feedback we've been getting. It encourages me. If it's only one person, if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's okay. You can still share.
Someone else may like
share,
it.
Comment. Because someone else may get something out of it. So I think that was probably my biggest fear. Definitely for the videos, my appearance.
But you're so beautiful.
Well, thank you, babe. But
she's trying to be what do you call it? Bashful. She's trying to be.
I'm not trying to be bashful. I don't know if people try to be bashful, but that
humble.
And humble, yeah. But that and just not knowing if what I have to say matter to anyone else. If anyone else cared. So we're finally doing it. We're here.
Think about all those people you watch, and people care.
And that's part of what encouraged me also. Like, hey, if they can do it and get all these followers and stuff, then why not?
I'm not trying to get followers. I got you. That's all I need.
You know what I mean. This week, shout out to Shirley.
Shirley, yes, thank you.
Thank you for giving us the topic for this week. She asked us to talk about parenting and what parenting and
raising kids
in a marriage looks like.
So where do we start?
All right, so in general, you want to tell?
Let's take it back. Like
okay,
before
go
kids.
Go ahead.
Like getting to parenting.
Okay.
So You may have known it. I originally didn't want kids.
Yeah, I know
it wasn't
that.
really like it wasn't. I don't think it was a do not want, cannot have, do not want. It was I had a career in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do that. I didn't care about anything else.
Right.
That was my focus back then. And then met you. You wanted kids.
Yeah, I wanted at least one, preferably two, a boy and a girl. I wanted a boy and a girl. I was going to have a boy and a girl.
How you just going to have it? You told God, say, God, this is what I'm going to have.
I was going to have a boy and a girl. And that's what I wanted.
And that's what you got.
And a girl, and that's what I got.
So we started with the first one.
Yeah. Okay, so first, Dupre, before we got married, we agreed to have kids before we got married.
We agreed?
We did.
We
agreed. Dupre didn't want kids initially when we were dating.
She pressured me into it.
I did not.
She said, you know what?
I was like, well, it might not work out.
This is what she told me. She said...
What did I say?
What did you say?
Go ahead.
She said, I never said that.
I never said
Ain't
what?
no reason to do it if you're not trying to have no kids.
Never said that. I don't know who you got
you
me mixed
said
up
it.
with.
I guarantee it.
Look.
I know exactly where I was.
Okay, that wasn't the point. The point was we did agree. Like when we got married, we agreed upon having kids. It wasn't like I tricked you.
Was it plural? I don't know if it was plural.
It was plural.
Okay.
It was plural. But
for you,
it wasn't like
it
wasn't like I tricked you or we
Yes.
It just happened or anything like that. Because I was like, if you don't want kids, well, this is not going to work.
See that? See how y'all females pressure men into having kids?
It wasn't pressure. Just like that kind of,
That's what makes me think of that.
No,
see? Yeah.
It wasn't pressure.
Choices.
Though. I didn't say you. I didn't say that you had to have kids. I said in order for this to work, in order for you to have me,
no,
you need to be open to having kids. And it may not have happened. It may not have happened.
And then what? So you would kick me to the curb if it didn't happen?
No, I wouldn't.
So what are you saying?
I mean, you never know what God has planned, but I knew what I wanted, and you needed to get on board in order for it to work.
See, there you go.
It wasn't pressure.
People.
I'm saying.
This is the reality of life, and I'm going to tell you.
Look, you asked me to marry you, though. You remember that?
Well, that's what I'm supposed to do.
So what if I would have been
you
like,
weren't gonna ask me.
Oh, no, I'm not ready right now.
That's all right. Find somebody else.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. I would not.
You pressured me
I would
marry you.
No.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, we came into the marriage wanting kids.
Yes. Yeah.
And we had them.
Well, that's so timing though. There was never a perfect time for it.
It was never. It was never a perfect time for it because in my head, I knew how much daycare cost.
That's what you're thinking about.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about daycare. I was thinking about a mortgage. I was thinking about car payments.
We didn't have no mortgage.
Yeah, but I wanted to have one.
We were living with your parents.
Okay, and I didn't want to live with my parents.
Oh, I know. That's my point.
That's something. Yeah.
No perfect timing.
After we got married,
she left me. If y'all didn't know, look at the last video. You understand. After we got married, she left me.
I didn't leave you. I went on a work assignment for a couple weeks.
Don't tell them they gotta watch the other video.
Well, I don't want these people.
It's a teaser.
I don't want these people to think
these people need to go back and see it.
Okay. Anyway,
you'll get to understand why she left me.
Okay.
Dum, dum, dum.
Work assignment.
Okay, that's what they call work.
Okay, come on. We need
see
to
the ladies pull this too, guys. They be like, "I'm on a work assignment."
We need to focus because talking about kids, we need to go get them shortly.
Oh,
so
gosh. Okay. Okay, good. What?
All right. I don't even know what I was thinking. What I was talking about.
Kids.
Yeah, but what's my sentence? What was I saying? You got something in that tea, man?
Shh. No. Kids, you don't want to have them timing.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about timing. So, yeah, after we got married, my parents moved from Pennsylvania to Virginia.
She pressured them into that, too.
I did not. They bought this big old house, and they're like, come on and live with us. And we had student loans. I had a lot more than Dupre. Mm-hmm. And we're like,
I wasn't very excited when you first told me.
That's looking pretty good. I know you weren't, but it worked out really well, didn't it?
But I said, you know what? Yeah, it'll work.
It worked out really well. And
Paid off
then
my car. Paid off my student loans.
we bought a car, paid off a car.
Yeah.
First, we paid off our student loans. Right. We bought and paid off a car. We were able to get our house built. So it worked out for us. But in the midst of that all happening, we were talking about having kids.
Yeah.
And anyway, we had our oldest daughter. You know, it worked out. My mom ended up watching her for us.
That right there is a blessing because
it is.
Someone asked me just yesterday, Friday, I was talking with them about my career, and they're like, "How do parents like do it with like scheduling and stuff?"
Yeah.
And so you gotta have a support system. It's challenging.
When we had Lauren, you were on midnight shift, and I'm trying to stay on topic, but it's funny now because when we had Lauren, Dupree's on midnight shift. So in the morning when I was getting ready to go to work, my mom would come downstairs at a certain time, but I still had to get ready for work. And Lauren would either be asleep and I had to make sure she didn't roll off the bed, or she would be awake and I had to like entertain her, keep her entertained until it was time to leave the room. And I laugh at you now because you act like it is like such an ordeal to get one kid ready to take them to drop them off on the way to work. And I'm
wait, did you just hear what you had to say?
And I'm like,
so she just compared, listen to this, y'all. She just compared getting ready in the house to dropping her daughter off by opening the door. Boom, she's at daycare. Comparing to me, getting the kid ready, having to drive them, whining, trying to feed them, and like...
I still had to get like my stuff ready for the day and stuff.
Well, yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, but you be like huffing and puffing.
No.
Oh, what was me?
You don't go because you don't go anywhere.
Okay.
You stay in the house.
Focus.
You stay in the house. When you went anywhere, when you went, did I ever say anything?
So what's the difference?
You staying in the house. Why
you're complaining?
You don't have to get dressed or drive anywhere, so you can replace that with
now because I'm working from home.
No,
yes, that's what you just
no.
That is what you just said.
It's because you don't do. It's because.
It's
because you don't have to go anywhere.
Okay, but anyway, we're talking about parenting. Going into our transition from being a couple just being free. Like we were free to vacation when we wanted. We like took our bikes and just went random places.
It was so much fun.
We were able to do things.
We've been everywhere. Miami, New York, Pennsylvania.
Transitioning to having a kid. It was hard.
Was it?
It was hard. And we she doesn't come with a manual.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do.
Second one's definitely easier though.
I don't know if it's easier. I mean, I think we've gotten more of a routine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know more of what to expect.
Yeah, you know what to expect.
Kind of forgot though a little bit.
Kind of know what. Yeah. I mean, some things, but it comes back to you. Kind of know what to do. Mm-hmm. It definitely helps because when we had Lauren, we were all in one room, and now Maxwell has his own room, so it's not like with Lauren. She went to bed. We went to bed at one point because she was so clingy.
Yeah.
And it's not like she didn't want to be put down, and I wanted to be in my room, so it was definitely a transition.
She still want to be put down.
Yeah, it was definitely a transition, but I think it definitely helps that we're both very involved. It's great that we still like each other, and that we still want to be around each other.
I like you. I love you.
Okay, but we still want to be around each other, and we still do things a lot with each other. I think it's great, but I think it helps. Being able to do stuff like you put one kid to bed, I put one kid to bed on most nights.
Which one's easiest tonight? That's what she does.
Very funny. But yeah, that definitely helps. And we have a lot of shared duties. When we're both off on the weekend, we are both doing stuff with the kids. It's not like one of us just gets a free pass.
Well, I would like a free pass sometime.
Yeah, and you get a free pass sometimes.
When I have to go work?
No. When you want to do things. Like it's...
Yes.
But the understood expectation of both of us is that we're both present.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still make time to be able to do things that we want to do. We still make time for me to be able to work out and do my class and do certain things. We still make time.
We make time. I make time for that. I allow you to do that.
We still make time for you to be able to do the things you want to do also. But I think that is important.
What?
That we parent together, man.
Yes, it is.
That we're both
important.
very involved. That we're both still very present. That and that our kids see that. Mm-hmm. I think it is important that, you know, it's funny because Dupre and I don't really argue that much.
We fight, according to Lauren.
Yeah, and that's my point. Like, sometimes we'll, like, bicker over small things to us, and, like, in our heads, we're just talking. And then, like, sometimes Lauren will be like, "Stop fighting, guys, you're married," or something like that. And it's so cute and it's so funny, but we have to make sure we tell her, yeah, we're not fighting. We're just talking.
Yeah, because your grandmother's about ready to hit me upside my head.
That's funny. Night. Go ahead and tell that story.
You know better than me.
So one time, it's funny, but my grandmother has dementia. And
what does that have to do with it?
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Okay, well, I didn't.
My grandmother has dementia.
And didn't Lauren say that?
Okay, yeah, but she was in the car, Dupre.
Right, okay, go ahead.
So, New Year's Eve a couple years ago, we're in the car. I'm driving. We're going to my friend's church, so I'm trying to figure out where to park, how to get into the parking lot. And I'm following the GPS. The GPS is not taking me to the place it's supposed to. Took us to
a dead end in someone's backyard.
Yeah, it took us somewhere it wasn't supposed to. And and we finally get to where we're almost going. And Dupre is like trying to tell me one thing.
I was helping her.
I'm trying to do something else. And so we're bickering back and forth. And then Lauren is like, "Stop fighting, guys."
And she goes, right? "Mommy, you just park wherever you want to park."
Yeah, park where you want to park, Mommy. You do what you want to do. So in the car, it's the two of us. It's Lauren, my mom, and my grandmother. And then later, either that day or the next day, my grandmother tells my mom, "Oh, I don't like Dupre anymore. Lauren said he was fighting. He hit Lachey." And it was hilarious, but not at the same time, because we had to like make sure she knew. Like, my grandmother adores Dupre. Sorry, get my hands. My grandmother adores Dupre, but we had to make sure she knew that.
Yeah,
that wasn't the case. But yeah, I think it's important that we're mindful also of the things we do in front of our kids. I don't mind bickering back and forth.
We know you don't mind.
in front of Lauren. If there is a time where there's a conversation that needs to be had behind closed doors, we make sure that's done. But we make sure she sees our relationship.
She did tell me something the other day. I think it was last week or the week before. I was driving. She was just with me, and she's random. Lauren will just have conversations like you're talking to an adult. And she was like, "Daddy, you need to listen to Mommy more." I'm like, whose side are you on? Yeah.
But she also knows that she also sees the other side. She sees us show affection for each other. And she is funny about that. And she makes comments about us kissing and stuff like that. No, we're not slobbing each other down in front of the kids. But we make sure they see us showing affection. We don't do it on purpose, but they see us showing affection.
Y'all see us kids? Look, kids. Look.
They see us showing affection for one another, and they definitely take note of it. Both of them.
Max was so cute. He was pushing us apart yesterday. I used to do that to my parents.
Yeah. But let's see, parenting in general, just being on the same page. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Being on the same page, like religion, schooling, discipline.
Yeah.
I think for the most part we're on the same page. Discipline, I think I'm the disciplinarian. What?
Because you need to discipline. Because she gets too much. All these toys and stuff. Like, I think that's the balance. Like, the disciplines of toys. Like, my mom used to, like, be the discipline. I'd be running through the house. Girl, can I just try to get away? And I'd be sent to my room. But then,
and then
be
she
like,
would, like,
I
come and hold,
you. Yeah.
But that's
like how you are.
No, it is not.
Yeah. But you don't do it
She
that
don't
way.
be running away
You're
from
like,
me.
here's a new toy.
No, I don't.
You do.
I don't.
It's okay.
So I tell her, go to your room because you're not listening. Here's a new toy.
You don't say it in those terms, but like,
I don't.
The day or 2 days later,
I
you're
don't.
like, oh.
I don't.
Okay, well, that's how I feel.
That's okay. Well, sorry that your feelings are wrong right now. No, but I think I'm the disciplinarian. And
Funny thing is, parenting wise, and you may have kids or no kids like this, Lauren is actually usually pretty good with just me and her.
she's good for the most part. Lauren is a good
No.
child.
I mean, when you're not around, she's like good.
Okay.
It's just her and I.
Okay.
Like we go on a car trip or something, or like go somewhere. I'm not saying anything bad.
Alright,
I'm just
go
saying,
ahead.
I'm just saying that I don't know why. I mean, she don't like ask for her iPad or nothing. Like we would just be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. She's good for the most part with me. She just wants to do what she wants to do.
But kids are challenging though.
Kids are challenging.
I can't even do this video with a full smile. Half smile. Right? Because the other side of parenting, like it's a lot of fun and you get to have excuses of like hanging out. Oh, that sounds weird. I say like hanging out with the kids, but like you get to have excuses like go to the playground and have fun, or like go to the jump house and jump the trampoline. Like, you get to have fun.
Yeah.
Do that stuff, which is a lot of coolness. But is it
Yeah,
raining?
I didn't know it was supposed to rain.
Why is it raining?
But yeah. I think it is also important that, we pass down certain things to our kids.
Like what?
Like that we're teaching them values. And,
How do you teach them though?
I think by just showing them. Like I don't want our kids to be little jerks. Like I want them to have compassion and like be mindful and like be thoughtful and.
Is it something that we have to do intentionally, or do you think by just example?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think they see a lot of what we do. Especially Lauren, she picks up on things, and she has really, kindness in her heart.
Really,
but I think just like being more mindful, I think it's something to teach and just like point out. Being thoughtful. Because I think kids do things without thinking sometimes. Adults do things without thinking sometimes.
Yeah. Or and kids can think it and they just don't have enough capacity to really think it.
Or think it through.
What I mean? Like, yeah, right.
Right, think over the next steps.
She, like, thinking about values and teaching her stuff, like I was driving with her the other day, last week before. I was taking her to your mom's at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to her about, like, sometimes people might put you down.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, how can they do that? How can they carry me? And I was like, oh, like, it's interesting how, like, when you talk to a kid, how they'll say things. They just have a different mindset of how they...
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's true. And I started thinking about that, and it's going to start raining, so it's going to be hard to hear us. But I started thinking about that, and I'm like, where do we put our... Like, where do we get our value from? Is it from God? Can we allow people to put us down? And she's got the mindset like, well, people can't put me down because they ain't carrying me. God's carrying me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's great that they pick up on things. I think just being a good example and just trying to teach them things and show them things that are important to us, like our values and stuff like that. I think that's important. Anything else? I know it's good training, so
it's raining.
I want you guys to be able to hear us. You want to?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like having kids is a blessing. I love having kids.
It is a blessing. It's rewarding.
It is.
It's one of the most important jobs we'll ever have.
You asked me if I want to say something.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to. I was asking if you wanted to stop or if you wanted to keep going. I've got some more stuff, but I didn't know if you wanted to stop or keep going.
I thought you were giving me the closing remark.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
We can keep going. But what I was going to say was, it's challenging. It's great. It's challenging. Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a very important job. It's your job to raise a human.
It's full time. Like you driving, my water. Okay, milk.
Yeah.
Milk. Okay, like it's.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love doing this. I love parenting with you. I think that it's great because we have such a strong foundation. I remember when we were getting ready to get married, and someone asked me, and it offended me. It really did. Someone was like, "Well, why are you getting married? Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, you know, this offended me. But I know people that do the things that they feel they need to do for themselves. I don't think a marriage is something to just do because you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's value in having a strong relationship and a strong foundation when it comes to raising kids together, because kids see everything.
Yeah.
They'll see your pain. They'll feel
it. Yeah,
they'll see it. They'll feel it. They'll see the dysfunction, and it'll show up. And it'll show up in the way that they behave. It'll show up in their lives. There's value in not staying in a dysfunctional relationship or an unhealthy relationship for kids. I think it's you can show your kids that you're doing something for them and for yourself. But
yeah, and I think the not biggest challenge, but I think with having kids or raising kids is really just got to put that mentality of like you're their only, like, you know what I mean,
you're
like their source of everything.
Yeah,
which is it's a good feeling. I think
it's a good feeling. It's scary because it's like some days it's like,
am I qualified?
Am I qualified? And am I doing this right? Is this okay? But yeah, and then it's protecting your kids. There's so much, like, I lived a very sheltered life coming up. I know I did. We talk about this all the time. But
I did not.
You did not. But I feel like I want to. I feel like I want to shelter my kids from so much. Like when everything was happening and there was COVID and there's the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all the stuff happening in the news, being married to a police officer and all these injustices happening at the hands of police officers. I didn't want to have that conversation with my child. With a black police officer, a black male police officer, as my child's father. I didn't want to have that conversation. And I still don't really want to have that conversation with her because she's still so young and has such a pure and innocent heart. And I wanted to stay that way for as long as possible. I don't think it's something that she needs to know right now. And I think it'll be tough when we have to have that conversation with her. Luckily,
What's the conversation that has to be
wasn't in school. What's going on? Why is this happening? And having to understand that there's so much, so much history.
Yeah.
And so it's not just, oh, this is what happened. It's going to be the why. It's going to be other questions because they process things differently. It's going to be other questions.
Did you have any questions when you were growing up?
I didn't know.
Just things happened when
I didn't know what was going on.
When we were like,
I don't know what was going on, and I don't think that I missed anything by not knowing that. I think it was also different though because there wasn't a police officer in my life. I think that has a lot to do with it. I don't like. There's going to be questions. Of course, there's going to be questions that we're not going to know how to answer later on in life. But this situation, I don't think it's something that she needs to know right now. And luckily, like I was saying, she wasn't in school. She was homeschooled, so I didn't have to deal with her going to school and hearing things, because that's going to be a whole nother thing. When she does go back to school, we probably will have to start having those conversations so that she's asking us those questions and not her friends. For getting the information from her friends. But I remember, I don't remember what exactly happened, but I remember just one of her friends, like, knowing everything that was going on and just had like a warped perspective and said something that was, I don't remember what exactly it was. It was something like heartbreaking.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you later. But she's had such a pure and innocent heart that it's tough to have those conversations with her right now.
Yeah, but, and that's my thing. So the way I was raised, I experienced all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so that set me up for having the perspective, like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like looking back on those things have helped me.
Helped you how?
Like have a clearer mindset of understanding things more than just like living in the clouds, being sheltered. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That's your perspective. I think.
Well, I'm saying,
I don't think I missed anything.
Well, I'm talking about with her. It sounds like you're saying two things. Like you want her to be sheltered, but you want to have these conversations with her.
No.
You want to expose her to it or not?
No, I don't. With everything that was going on, I didn't want to have those conversations with her.
Right. I don't think there is a need to have those conversations.
Right. But some kids have these conversations.
Absolutely.
There's 5-year-olds who know everything about what's going on. There wasn't, for me, I didn't want to tell her about it. There was no need for me to tell her about it.
Right, yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. I know. Okay. What else?
I think that's almost it. Let's see. Anything else?
Okay, that's it.
Oh yeah, shielding them from things. Shielding them from stuff that's going on in society, but also we had this conversation on our Facebook Live, but shielding them from like different family members and from different like toxic environments, friends.
Should we though? Should we shield?
I think that it's
reality
important.
of life.
It is reality. I still want to protect my kids. I still want to shield them from having their heart broken, but
It's gonna be broken.
I want them. Like, I'm not going to hide people from my kids. Like, there are people in our kids' lives who will tell them, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see you this time, blah, blah, blah. Make empty promises to our kids. And I will tell my kid, hey, it's okay if this doesn't happen, blah, 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 blah.
What are you talking about? What do you mean hide people from them? What does that mean?
I'm not going to make excuses for people.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to allow my kid to see who people are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to make excuses for people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going to try and soften the blow and tell them, it may not happen. I know they told you they were coming over or they were getting this.
Don't hold your breath.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
And that's part of learning too. I mean, again, that's a great example of life. Like you can learn that now.
Yeah.
Because in life, that's how things are. Like for me, growing up as a kid, my experience, I went to a lot of funerals. I dealt with death all the time. You didn't do any of that stuff.
I didn't go to a lot of funerals.
And I don't know. For me, I think it helped me set myself up for the type of career that I'm in and those types of things. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't think I needed to deal with a bunch of death or funerals or anything.
But it's interesting, like some now people who like get into my
But
field.
did you lose a lot of people who were close to you, or did you just go to random funerals?
So what my mom would do is she would get the obituary. And we would just look through the obituary, the picture, say, "Oh, she's a nice looking lady. Let's go to hers." Let's say no.
I wholeheartedly believe that.
It's like,
but were there people
like,
close to you?
It's like yard sale. And say, "Oh, yeah, let's check that one out."
Were there people close to you though?
Yes, I lost people who were close to me.
Did you like?
Don't do this.
Did you miss them though? Like, were they? Don't do that. Why are you? Don't do that. Dupre, this is not supposed to be funny.
I'm not laughing. Why are you laughing?
So were they like? Did you?
You think I never lost anyone? Let's talk about it.
Oh my gosh!
My great aunt, I watched her die, choking up on blood.
This is not that conversation.
My great.
Go ahead.
You asking me?
All right.
So yes.
So there's a bunch of people close to you.
Did you watch my videos? I have a YouTube channel. Do you watch my YouTube videos? I talked about.
Okay,
not every single person was like.
All right, then. So that's my point.
It wasn't like every funeral was like my aunt, my mom, my sister.
Okay, then that's my point.
But death, dealing with.
Yeah, but I think it's different. Okay, sure. You gonna make me. Okay.
What? No, I'm trying to understand. I'm just the example that I use was I went to a bunch of funerals. I dealt with death.
You dealt with death, but I think it's so different.
Why are you raising your voice?
Going to a funeral of someone you knew and who was close to you versus your dad's cousin's friend who you may have seen once or twice.
Okay, and what's your point?
I think it's different.
How's it different? What are you saying?
Because
you didn't go to any.
You're experiencing death in two different ways.
Right. And that's how I deal with it at work. People aren't close to me.
Right. Okay. So you want to send our kid to random people's funerals?
It could help them shape their mindset.
Help them how?
Perspective. Death is real. Death is real.
All right. Well, they go to funerals of people who they know.
I went to people I knew.
So why can't they understand that death is real?
You didn't go to funerals. That's all I'm saying. You said you didn't go to funeral.
I went to
one funeral.
How many different funerals I gotta go to?
I'm just saying.
I understand.
Be honest with you. Let me count. I went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've been to at least 10.
Okay.
Probably 10 by 10.
What's that mean? 10 by 10.
10 by age 10.
Oh,
10 by 10. That's what it means. 10 by 10.
All right. So how many funerals does one have to go to understand?
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying. I think all I said was I think that has helped me with dealing with in my career and like the things I've.
All right. I respect your perspective.
You trying to get cool looking?
I respect.
You respect my perspective.
Perspective.
What?
I respect your perspective.
Let's go get fascinated.
All right. Go ahead. You can go ahead and close it out.
Okay. Oh, you want me to say something? Go ahead. Okay, well, I gotta get her to bed because y'all hear her. She's all loopy now.
I'm not. There's something in that tea.
We gotta go get these kids. This is actually tea. Well, you can't see the tea. It's in the cup. Can't use it. Elderberry and chain chia, whatever. It's elderberry tea. It's really good. It's good for your immune system.
Right. We're not talking about the tea, man.
My daughter likes it. How about that?
All right.
Kids.
Thank you guys for watching.
Okay.
We hope you have a great week. Send us some comments, some messages, like, share, subscribe. But yeah, if there's any topics that you guys want us to discuss or any questions you have, feel free to message us. I don't know why this is so funny.
Lauren, this is how she does. She goes, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Okay, bye.
Okay. Go ahead, yeah. Have a good night.